Well, Ron, I can tell you, you and Jan have built an incredible ranch. This is one of the coolest ranches I've been on. Tell me a little bit about how the journey got started.
We knew this, the time was going to be that we needed to retire, and we spent a lot of time talking about what it is we wanted to do next. And I've always loved being outdoors and hunt and fish. So we decided to look around and see if we could find a piece of property mainly for recreation and just to kind of go play around on the weekends. And we stumbled on this place in 1999. There was 193 acres, and the little guest house down here was the only building on here other than the old Quonset hut barn. So we made a deal on it, and we just bought it for mainly weekend recreation. I was still working and traveling a lot. And as my career started winding down and we got closer to thinking about retiring, we told Jan, I said, why don't we move out to the ranch? She thought long and hard about it, and she agreed. She loved it. She loved coming out here, and she was a part of it, working with me. And none of this was out here. It was a former soybean farm and a pig farm. It was really hadn't been worked in about 20 years. Literally, it was head high in weeds and brush.
So you really started out with a blank canvas.
Blank canvas.
What were some of the key check boxes that needed to be checked in your and Jan's discovery of trying to find the right place?
Well, we wanted something that was relatively close to town. This is only about 5 miles from Bixby and 10 or 20 minutes away from Tulsa, so it's a perfect location. But I like the location because we could come out here and shoot guns and ride four-wheelers and ride tractors and not bother anybody and nobody bother us.
You all built an incredible home, too.
Well, there's a story for that. Jan agreed to live out here, but I was still traveling a lot, so I made her a deal. I said, if you'll move out there, I'll let you build anything you want. You build it, I'll stay out of it. And she spent about 2 years going to different shows and open houses, and she traveled with me a lot. On our dining room table at our former house was a set of plans that she drew. And Jan literally drew every inch of this house, inside and out. Her goal was to have as big a house as my barn. She said, I can't let you have a bigger barn than my house.
That's a good one. I like that.
And she did it. So she designed the house. We took it to an architect. He put it to scale, and took us about 13, 14 months to get it built. And then we sat down and figured out what it is we wanted this place to be. And I told her, I said, well, I plan on running cattle, and she loves horses. I said, well, let's just put us a little horse barn back here. And so we built this horse barn first, got us a couple of horses, and we neither one were raised around this, so we were kind of rookies. I know I provided a lot of entertainment to the old timers around here about what I was doing next, but then I needed a hay barn, so we built the hay barn and built it in mind of this property being either for cattle or horses or both. There's about 100 acres of pecan trees back here, and it's a native orchard. It puts out lots of pecans, and so we didn't buy the place for the pecans. In fact, we didn't even know there were pecan trees on it.
Real park-like setting, which I like, is beautiful.
Grew to love it and just love the lifestyle. And then we added the riding arena. I used to ride quite a bit, team sorting, team pinning.
Tell me a little bit about the grass. It's incredibly productive.
Puts out just a ton of grass. There's been years I've had 3 cuttings on my hay meadows, and I never wanted to be in the hay business, but I just cut for myself and put it in the barn, and then we're done. But it'll put out 500-600 bales of hay.
Yeah, how many cows can you run here ideally and still bale decently?
The most we've ran about 75 mama cows.
Okay.
2 bulls. We got the property cross-fenced where we can crossbreed. We held back our own replacement heifers, did that for several years, and grew our own herd. We raised registered Santa Gertrudis, got real active with them. The hay meadows that we use for the hay are across the creek. With that creek being there and in a flood zone, we don't put cattle on those, but it makes great hay.
I bet. Good soils. Yeah. Oh, there's good soils throughout the ranch on the soil maps.
They call this the Bixby Bottoms and Bottomland, and I would challenge anyone to find a rock on this place because they're just not there. But
That's nice.
Great soil, great grass.
And laid out user-friendly. You all were shipping out cattle today, and you had a couple guys or a couple gals and a guy on horseback, and went pretty smooth and easy, and so everything flowed. And you got tremendous infrastructure. All the fences are in great shape. You cross fence, you got all the pipe fence that's, I think, well over a mile of just pipe fence.
Yeah, we got about a mile and a half of
Yeah.
pipe fence.
Yeah.
And working pens are set up, and it's set up to where you can work 2 different herds on the ranch and crossbreed with them, and then just work out of one set of pens and feed barn. And it works really good.
Tell me a little bit about the balance that owning this ranch and having your career in town, at your office. And how did owning a place like this and the convenience work for you?
Well, actually, this was my escape. I mean, I would come out here and after a week at the office and spend the weekend on a tractor, and I learned that was just great therapy for me. Jan would come out with me, and she had her own tractor, and we'd come out here and mow and clear land. And like I say, my escape from the pressure of the job and all the travel, and we just learned to love the lifestyle out here.
What's nice about this ranch is you have your beautiful, nice main home, and then you got 2 other houses. So you've got housing for hired help, groundskeep, whatever you need, which is nice. Let me ask you this. What does this ranch mean to you after 25 years?
It means the world to me for one particular reason, and I've lost both of my kids, and we've lost a son and a daughter, and we have 2 daughters that live in Oklahoma City. But if it wasn't for this ranch, I'm not sure how I could have handled that, because I could come out here and just get busy and not dwell on what was going on. And so it's been an escape from that for me as well. But I've always loved making things grow. In the business world, we created new companies, new divisions in the company, and I always enjoyed watching that transpire and evolve. And I've loved it out here, because looking at this place when we bought it, I mean, it was pretty trashy, to be honest. And to watch it unfold with the pasture and the grass and the trees and the houses and everything, it was really fulfilling for me. And it felt like we really accomplished something that we could be really proud of.
So, when we sell these types of properties, there's a legacy aspect to it a lot of times, and memories created for the family and everything. And then it kind of turns to where there's this passing of the torch. What do you hope for the new owners?
I would hope for them to love it as much as we do and enjoy it, and I'm sure they will, because it's a great piece of property. There's just all kinds of potential for it. Well, it's kind of bittersweet for us, but we know it's time. Being 77, it's not as easy to pull calves and do all that stuff that I used to do, so we both feel like the time is right. We're confident you're going to find us the right buyer.
Well, this ranch has kept you young.
Yeah.
You don't look 77.
We enjoy it, and some days are longer and harder than others, but I've got a good partner in Jan. She keeps me on the straight and narrow. So.
Well, you guys have a beautiful sunset and sunrise the way this ranch is laid out every day. So, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Look forward to working with you.
You bet.